Nice fish, £7.
In this video, we're on a piece of permission that we don't ferret all too often. There's not really any big warrens on this piece of ground, and a lot of the smaller warrens don't hold great quantities of rabbits. So a marking dog is vital. We had walked a fair chunk of the land before Jet stopped and told us there was rabbits at home. So we started netting up with using purse nets. That's all we would need for the majority of today, as there's nothing too big that we need a long net for. Having entered 2 ferrets, one at either end, it was quite clear that Bonnie could hear what was going on underneath the ground. Just look at her, she's totally focused on one hole. As soon as the ferrets were out the ground, Jet was off, looking to tell us where the next rabbit was going to come from. She stopped on this little mound and gave me a clear mark to let me know there was rabbits there. And it wasn't too long before a rabbit had hit the net. A short walk later and Jet had marked 2 separate areas. The first bit there, Adam's digging, as the ferret had got laid up with a rabbit.
Rabbit.
Having dug down and got the rabbit out the first part, I looked over and seen Bonnie totally fixated on a few holes. And exactly the same situation had happened. The ferret had bottled the rabbit up without it bolting, so we needed to dig down to get it out. After that last rabbit, we went back to the car, got something to eat and moved on to another field. On this warren, I actually missed the first bolt, so we'd already had a rabbit out of it, but it seemed there could have been another one that had got bottled up by the ferret and stuck. So Adam took the locator and found exactly where the ferrets had the rabbit positioned.
Could be 2 here.
one. At the next cluster of holes that Jet said there was rabbits in, it was well out in the field, away from any obstacles the dogs could hurt themselves on, so we decided to give them a run. This next bit was quite rocky, and I didn't really want the dogs running across it, so we put the nets on. After that rabbit, we went for a walk to see if we could find any more. Whilst looking, Bonnie had put one out the grass, making a nice catch, which unfortunately I missed on camera. Here's the dogs working through the long grass, using their nose to try and find the rabbits. But unfortunately the rabbit made it escape. You don't get them all. So we carried on walking around this big field. We found this small cluster of holes, and Jet had given us a shoe mark. We knew there was more rabbits in here, but they weren't willing to bolt, so you guessed it, the spade was back out. God, it's strong, this rabbit.
It wasn't the only.
That was the last rabbit that Warren had to offer. So we carried on walking, Jet marking this few holes on the side of a bank. It wasn't really too bad a ground, so we decided to give them a run again. That was the last rabbit that field had to offer, so we set off back to the car. So we moved on to a patch of moor close by. When we parked up, we could see quite a few rabbits dropping into a very long warren. This required the long net. We put a few purse nets inside just to split it up so there was no hole hopping. And that there was the last rabbit of the day. We'd had a cracking day, taking 27 rabbits off.